welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and TonyScapone's has sent me his The Epic Gamble updated list for our new post-ban metagame, that right after the bans he went 9-0 through a challenge, losing only in the finals. Pretty good showcase, and this format right now is less full send than it has been for the last year, but full send is still kind of the top end gear. Oops All Spells, of course, a oppressive presence in our metagame right now that everybody has to have some sort of plan for. And this deck's plan is to win first. The core interaction is Echo of Eons and Gamble. Gamble, search your library for a card, put that card in your hand, then discard a card at random. If you put a Lion's Eye Diamond into play, then it doesn't matter if you win your gamble or not. On Echo of Eons, you can discard it, and then you cast it with the mana, all from Lion's Eye Diamond. If you have Echo of Eons but not a Lion's Eye Diamond, you can gamble for LED and just hope that you discard any card other than this one, and then you go. Tons of fast mana in the deck, 4 Lion's Eye Diamond, 4 Chrome Mox, 4 Mox Opal, 4 Grim Monolith, 6 Soul Lands, 2 Simian Spirit Guides, 4 Rite of Flames. We're blasting mana out. And then 2 copies of Birgi. Both sides are useful in this deck. The front side of Birgi is a mana engine, basically makes all your spells cost a single red less, or in the case of 0 drops, they become rituals. And the backside, Harnfell, Horn of Bounty. Discard a card, exile your top 2 cards of your library, you may play those cards this turn. Harnfell is a way to turn random extra mana into action when you have plenty of mana but need action. It's also a way to get Echo of Eons into your graveyard while getting card advantage out of it. And if you ever draw 7 with the Echo, the Dragon, or Reforge the Soul out of the sideboard, bunch of ways to draw 7 in the deck. If you ever draw 7 with Harnfell, Horn of Bounty in play, that's actually 14 cards, because you can discard the ones you don't want to be more cards. So you have access to up to 21 cards, which is a third of your deck, which you should be able to figure out how to win from there. I will do my best to navigate this competently, but if you want to see the master, of course, TonyScapone has a Twitch channel and a YouTube channel. Check him out. All his links are in the video description. Let's try it out. This is TonyScapone's The Epic Gamble. I am on the play for round 1 with a hand that can gamble twice. If I gamble for Lion's Eye Diamond, then gamble the second time for LED, that gives me the best chance of gambling correctly. I'll keep this. It is ice cold to Force of Will, but that's the world we live in sometimes. Okay, I'm just going to straight up gamble, give myself the best chance on the Lion's Eye Diamond. LED, not in my graveyard. LED, Lotus Petal. I am going to spend all my resources because I'm going to use them anyway. Gamble for Echo of Eons. And here we go, with 1 red floating. Moment of truth. Do I have 0 cards in hand versus Force of Will, or are we doing something? Oh yeah! Bricks. The old draw 7 Brick City outcome. Okay. This is fine. I can still work with this. I could pitch Spirit Guide to play Defense Grid and have a plan for next turn. All right, here is Defense Grid. Defense Grid also turns on Mox Opal with this hand. Do I play around Thoughtseize or play around Removal? And I don't think Thoughtseize is going to take one of my rocks. Okay, so my opponent has a 7-card hand that they didn't have a chance to mulligan, but I'm not really doing anything. Once upon a time, we're not playing against a blue deck, or we're playing against Oops All Spells. Did we oops them back into a 7-card hand that still wins? Jesus Christ. Disappointing. Imagine if Oops All Spells gets their whole opening hand mind twisted and still just wins on turn 1. Good stuff. But this is a demonstration of something that is annoyingly true. I sent my combo on turn 1 and it did not win, and then my opponent sent their combo on turn 1 and theirs did win. Oops All Spells has a 0% fail rate once they're doing their thing, whereas this deck, I don't actually know what the fail rate of a draw 7 is, but we failed. Okay, on the play, Tony has instructed me that we just send it. Look for turn 1s mulligan aggressively, opponent's not going to be able to interact. On the draw, there are 2 ley lines just to buy you a turn to try to do something, but winning first is the job here. Okay, submitting my deck. Okay, this hand is not there. Yeah, I'm 1 mana short of getting this Burning Wish for Echo, so I will mulligan. This one does not work either. I have the Echo, but no way to discard it. Okay, 5 cards. This is an Echo and no way to discard it. I really only need a 2-card hand that has Echo plus LED in it, and we're gaming, so this isn't too bad. I'm just thinking, I don't think there's anything I can do here. No. All right. 4 cards. Oh no, it's getting worse. 3 cards. Come on now, deck. Is this one good enough? No, because I don't have the Echo or the LED, even though I can cast Gamble. All right, 2 cards, last chance. Oh my god. Well, I'm not going less than 2. What a disaster this has become. I guess I just keep 2 Lotus Petals and fucking die. Right, my opponent revealed Chancellor of the Annex out of a 6-card hand. So I'll pass the turn and then lose. Again, I don't know what the odds are of looking at, what was that? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. That's 6 times 7. That many cards without finding the ability to do what the deck is built to do. Like literally just foundationally, that's the deck's job. And I was unable to do it with that many cards. Right, they're just hitting weird land drops. Ancient Tomb. Oh my goodness. We have a chance. You're saying there's a chance. I don't think casting Birgi here is correct. The Horn of Harnfell is live, and I can get more mana out of Birgi on the front next turn. And I doubt they're over there playing around Surgical Extraction, but if they are, that also gives up that story. All right, I'm just going to keep playing Drago. I can play the Horn of Bounty here, but I have no cards to discard to it. Or I could play Birgi and make 4 mana, but I have nothing to cast with that mana. Once Upon a Time. This is a lot of looks at 8 hits in their deck. Simian Spirit Guide. Academe as mana number 4, and we lose. Cool. Well, that was unsatisfying and terrible. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw in round 2. I have a turn 1 Echo. If my opponent shows me information that would want me to slow down and play Defense Grid before I start echoing, that's something I can do as well. I'm leaving my sideboard up for this league because Burning Wish is such a core part of this deck, just reminding myself and everyone else what I have access to at all times. If I draw a mana source, I actually have turn 1 Protected Echo. Opponent mulled a forward, played a fucking MDFC land. Legacy is so close to being good. Man, it sucks that a deck that this heinous is actually good. But I do have a chance to go over the top, or at least mess them up here. Unfortunately, they have Mull to 5 and played a land drop, so I might be helping them with what I'm doing here. Echo of Eons. Blue, blue, blue. Spin it. Okay, I have a big Galvanic Relay here. Can I echo? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I could hardcast Echo instead if I want to pitch Galvanic Relay. Do I think I'm getting another turn is the question. I did just mulligan them, whether they like it or not, but they did get a turn before they had to be mulliganed. Okay, well, I'm playing Ancient Tomb and Lotus Petal. Might as well put those on the stack. That's happening. Now the question is, do I play an empty Chrome Mox and Galvanic Relay? Or do I pitch Galvanic Relay to Chrome Mox and echo? I think I should echo. We gotta... There's no guarantee I'm getting a turn, is the problem. Okay, blue, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And casting it from hand does leave Echo in the graveyard, so any LAD I draw is another draw 7. But as usual, I've just never seen the card Lion's Eye Diamond in my time with this deck. I'm going to gamble for it. A pretty good gamble here, but you can always lose. That's how gambling works. All right, I didn't lose it. Echo again. Storm is lethal at this point, and now I have no option but to Galv Relay. Okay, well, we're back to where we started 2 echoes ago. Lotus Petal, Mox Opal, Chrome Mox, exile one of the relays, and I could relay for one more, or I could have extra mana next turn. I guess extra mana next turn is as good as anything else. Okay, I'm exiling 6 cards and hoping I'm not dead. Okay, I am F6. Here come all the cards that I can play next turn. Okay, Necropotence for 16. Am I getting a turn? It's possible their hand just doesn't do anything. That is the hope here. They are a deck that needs to count to 4 and have the thing to cast. And if they don't do both of those things, their deck doesn't do anything. But they do have 8 cards and a starting mana to figure it out. Fellmire zapped it in. Thoughtseize, that's good news. You can have my Grim Monolith. Am I also still dead with extra Thoughtseize? Or was that the play? Alright, it looks like I'm getting a turn, and then it should be really hard to lose with 18 cards in my hand to start the turn. Okay, we did it. We survived the nonsense. Storm is 1, 2, 3, Rite of Flame, new Opal. I also have an Echo in my, or a Gamble in my hand that could be an Echo. There's one left in my deck if I want to just keep stunting here. I think I would like a Defense Grid in play, just in case. Cool, we did it. Ancient Tomb. Should have played that from exile, but at this point, I'm just winning, and it's fine. Mox Opal, float a red, another Mox Opal. My opponent's at 15. That is plenty to kill them with Tendrils. I'm going to gamble to build Storm. Plenty of mana here. Entomb this Echo of Eons. Chrome Mox for Storm. And then float black off of Lion's Eye Diamond. And cast Burning Wish for Tendrils of Agony. Okay. We've done it. We took game 1 of Oops All Spells. Wahoo! Alright, revenge. That wasn't fun or satisfying, but we did technically win the game. Right, Leyline of the Voids in, Defense Grid's out. This is on the draw, so they can occasionally buy me a turn. Tony explained to me that winning first is always plan A. So if I have a hand that can turn 1 Echo, I think I'm going to keep it. Like, you don't mulligan for Leylines. He said he would play more Leylines if he could find room for them, but having the deck function as it needs to against the rest of the field is more important than maxing out versus specifically Oops All Spells, which, although is the top deck in Toxic and Terrible, is still only like 8 to 10% of the field on any given day on Magic Online. And probably lower in real life. People don't actually like playing that deck. Okay, this is a turn 1 Echo. It's extremely weak to a Thoughtseize, but it is a turn 1 Echo. All right, I'm going to keep. Okay, they've got their own Leyline. That means I don't have a turn 1 Echo anymore, but they did mull to 5 to find that, so they're playing on 4 cards. There is a Void Snare in my sideboard I can grab instead, and I'll have to Echo on turn 2. Garden of Freyalise played out as a land. 3 cards left over there. Another Mox Opal. Does that change what I'm capable of right now? But because of the Leyline, putting Rite of Flame under Chrome Mox is the same as casting Rite of Flame, because I can't stack the second one. Right, what can I actually do here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana available. Burning Wish for Void Snare is 3 mana, and then Burning Wish for Echo is 2 mana. I only have 4 actual mana to use without the LED. Okay. Well, let's start casting stuff. Opal, Chrome Mox, exile Rite of Flame, Lion's Eye Diamond. Is it better to use Rite of Flame or to use Mox Opal to cast Void Snare right now? I don't want to wish for Void Snare then not cast it. Like, one Rite of Flame's already in exile, another one... Just deciding, like, if I get to start echoing, would I rather have Mox Opals or Rite of Flames in my spins? I'm going to use Mox Opal to do this. I think I'd rather have Rite of Flame wheeling around if I'm wheeling. Okay, Void Snare. Grab that. Mox Opal. Blue. They could Dark Ritual this back out, which is some mild concern. But if they have Dark Ritual in 4 mana, they should win. And I know they play Thoughtseize, so leaving it in my hand feels risky in its own way. There is certainly a correct line there. Like, if you are intimately familiar with Oops All Spells composition, should you be holding that Void Snare or casting it? Cabal Writ, that's 3. Simian Spirit Guide. Okay, so it turns out I should have held it, but also we didn't lose, and they're down to 1 card in hand and 2 mana. Another Burning Wish. I got options. Jessica's Will could do stuff. I could just relay a bunch. How much is relay, actually? 1, 2, 3. Alright, it's not that many. How far am I from Pier? Extremely far is my guess. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's a 9 mana play. Yep, pretty far away from Pier. I could cast a Wish now and grab something like Jessica's Will. Jessica's Will is extremely unlikely to be a ritual in this game, though. I am going to use one of these wishes, though. Though that does leave only 2 left in my deck. Plus the actual wish. Hold on. How many warrens can I empty here? Is the answer any at all? So 2. I have exactly enough to empty the warrens for 6 goblins. I think that's what I have to do here. Okay, Rite of Flame. Float red. Burning Wish holding priority. Sack for red. And I'm just going to make 6 goblins and hope that they win. My opponent just used a lot of resources to get that ley line back into play. All right, here we go. Game on. All in. They pass the turn. City of Traders, not bad. That is a burst of mana if I draw something useful to do with it. They get 2 more draws this game. There's one of them. Ancient Tomb. All right. All right, well, they have to win this turn. Fingers crossed. And we have balanced out the universe. On to the next round. Let's hope we play against a deck that's fun. The 9th installment of the NYSE Vintage Open Series is coming. This 15 proxy vintage tournament with Power 9 prizes takes place on Saturday, June 14th, 2025 in Long Island, New York, and has a $500 entry fee. That's a hefty entry, but the guaranteed prizes for top 8 are unlimited Black Lotus, Ancestral Recall, Time Walk, and all 5 Moxen. The NYSE Open 8 went well for me last year. Someone better come stop me from getting another Lotus. Will it be you? I'll be at the NYSE Open 9 on June 14th, and I hope to see you there. Register on melee.gg or use the link in the video description. I am on the play in round 3 versus Harain, who is also a Twitch streamer and person who I have done a co-streamed league with before. Dreadnought is his thing. So he is going to be a Force of Will deck, but at least recently his build has been Ancient Tomb centric and more on the stompy side. My hand right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. I could play Harnfell with 2 cards left in my hand. Does that do anything? I could also jam out Birgi and have a big Galvanic Relay. All right, I'll keep jam out Birgi, have a big Galvanic Relay as a plan. I may have miscounted. Do I get Birgi or do I just get a big Galvanic Relay? Yeah, Grim Monolith is not actually, like, you have to put 2 red mana into getting 3 colorless mana from this hand. If Right jams out Monolith, then I have to use Petal to cast Birgi, and I'll have 1 colorless floating. LED makes 1. Yeah, I'm actually a mana short of the thing I wanted to do. Okay, I guess I'm just going to relay. Petal, Petal, Right, Monolith, LED, and relay. Necro for 6, pass the turn with only Lionside Diamond available for mana. Yeah, I definitely miscounted that by 1. If this Grim Monolith was Rite of Flame, my hand works, but it was like a matter of red mana. Okay. Hitting an LED and an Ancient Tomb in that pile is pretty good, though. We'll see what happens here. Volcanic Island. Oh no, we've been betrayed. Mox Opal, pretty good draw. Okay, Ancient Tomb, Mox Opal. I'm actually going to play Birgi here. Like frontside Birgi. I could use Lionside Diamond to pay for a Daze. And now I just have 7 mana to do stuff with. Pretty good. Birgi might get lightning bolted, but that was still a reasonable thing to be doing. All right, Birgi did in fact get lightning bolted. There are no instants in exile. So I paid 3 mana to get 1 mana and get lightning bolt out of their hand. Oh, now I can gamble and then echo and see what's left over. I also have a Burning Wish just hanging out here. Tendrils is only for 6 right now. That's not good enough. All right, gamble. The fail case of this turn is I just relay for like another 9 cards. I think I want to keep, or do I want LEDs swinging around? No, I will sack this one. I would like to draw them in the pool of cards. Echo, that resolved. Did not draw a Lion's Eye Diamond. I do have Defense Grid now. Okay, does Grid get me anywhere? Chrome Mox, pitching Spirit Guide and Rite of Flame are basically the same thing. So I'm going to pitch Spirit Guide to this Chrome Mox, which turns on the backup Opal in my hand. If I play Defense Grid now, I have 1, 2, 3 mana left. Oh no, it's 4 mana left. That's an important 4th mana, actually. That lets me echo again. Okay, I'm going to play Defense Grid. Let's put the shields up here. Okay, Force of Will on that one. Force pitching Ponder. Okay, Fresh Mox Opal. Now I have a really important decision, which is, do I want to gamble for Echo or just bank 12 cards, 13 cards with Galvanic Relay? I guess I can do both. Well, I can't cast both, but I can. All right, I'm going to play this Chrome Mox, and I am not going to exile gamble. I am going to gamble, though. Get that Echo banked, and then I will put 14 cards in exile. Maybe this is the coward blue player way to play this, but it feels smart to me, rather than twisting the unknown into a Force of Will deck. What if I just draw 14 cards and make them do something? They have Lightning Bolt, Force of Will, and Ponder in their deck. I think this is some kind of tempo, Delver, or whatever. Okay, millions of cards in exile. That is 1 Burning Wish gone. Okay. Brainstorm always feels so pitiful after your opponent has done something like this. We finally get a round where we get to be the bad guys. All right, there's Wasteland, the Lord of the Rings coded Wasteland. Opponent is doing whatever he can, just fighting for life over there, fighting for his life. I have an Ancient Tomb and a Defense Grid in the can here. Yeah, I'm just going to play Defense Grid, and then I will win. Grid. There's plenty of access here to get up to Tendrils and fire it. Daze. All right, actually I have to count mana here. Okay, so right is 3, and then this one is 4, because there's a right in my graveyard already. So this one goes +2, this one goes +3, so it's 5 between the two. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, okay, I can afford this. I paid for Defense Grid, and now we're just running away. Storm is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's for good measure. I'm just showing off now. Oh wait, I can tap Grim Monolith to cast Grim Monolith. Don't have to use precious red mana for that. 9. Sack for black. Burning Wish. I would like to use this ability. Tendrils. All them drills. Cool. Okay, beat the shit out of a blue player. That's what I wanted to do. And again, Tony's instruction, that he said the deck basically doesn't sideboard. These are the 3 cards you could bring in. Void Snare is counter hate, but it's also Burning Wishable. So even if you don't bring it in, you still have access to it. But he said that the sorcery is incidental and just treat it like Chain of Vapor. If there is something in the matchup you'd like to bounce, bring it in. Don't worry about the Burning Wish synergy, though the Burning Wish synergy is also there. I've used it already in this league. But we do not sideboard here. I'm not bringing in Leyline. Here we go. Isn't it so much better that instead of losing in 1 second on turn 1, you lose in 8 minutes on turn 2? The irony is not lost on me that I'm playing the Epic Gamble and also raging about Oops All Spells. My hand does not work. There is no Lion's Eye Diamond. There's no red to gamble for it. I'm going to mulligan. I like this just fine. I'm going to keep it, and I think I bottom Simian Spirit Guide here. Spirit Guide can BTFO at days, but Rite of Flame is better to have just in the mix. All right. I would like to find an Overmaster or a Defense Grid to be comfortable in this environment, but I am happy with the hand. Happy enough. Okay, Urza's Bauble in the list. This is a Quarry Steelcutter deck. Okay, they know their own top card and have not shuffled it away, and then they saw City of Traders at random out of my hand. Okay, they actually didn't like the card. We're just waiting till my upkeep to fetch. Fair enough. Okay, 2 random cards drawn over there, and I'm cheating. Here we go. Defense Grid in the mix. Now it's awkward because I would have preferred to have that Simian Spirit Guide in this setup, because you can just pop it out versus a daze. But I am still cooking here. I'm in the kitchen. Force a negation pitching Brazen Borrower. Okay. So Pyroblast is still alive, but I am sending it. I am playing around daze here. Pyroblast is good. Brainstorm, Emergency Brainstorm. If my opponent has double force to beat a defense grid with a floating mana, that's fine. Like, that's just something you accept when you play decks like this. But they're also at 2 cards in hand. All right. Pitch to Tameo. Okay. And we start over against an opponent with 3 cards. Channeler, Bauble. If this thing gets Delirious, it'll be a pretty quick clock. If it doesn't, then it's fine. The opponent knows I just drew Gamble. Not a bad top deck. 1 damage coming in. 1 mighty damage. Opal, that might be useful someday. I'm going to sandbag it for now. I don't want them being able to track that I have an Opal in hand and what I might be capable of. I don't like that they didn't play a land or a spell there. We're getting closer to doing something. Oh, if they had a threat, they'd probably play it out. If they had a land, they'd probably make their land drop. So I'm feeling like their hand is... And if they had a Lightning Bolt or a Ponder or any of this thing of the sort, they would send it into the DRC to surveil and maybe get the clock tripled. I think my opponent has a handful of answers right now. Mishra's Bauble. Okay, they got Delirium by dumping a creature. They were missing creature or sorcery to get to Delirium. Targeting themselves with that Bauble. And land. Interesting. So they didn't play land or Bauble last turn, but they did play those cards this turn. But one of those cards was in hand last turn and didn't get played. I'm an artifact away from echoing. That's what I'm building up to here. All right, Ponder, do your thing. Dump to Delta. Wasteland taking out my city. Hurts a lot. Chrome Mox. Oh, now I can gamble, but all right, I'm going to play Shatter Skull, the Hammer Pass tapped and pass the turn. Got to work my way back up to the 4 mana it takes to echo. Because with Mox Opal, that taps for blue. That's where I'm getting this mana, but you do have to be all the way hellbent when you gamble. Oh, that's a play. All right, I'm just going to Necro for 4 or 3. Spirit Guide, Opal. Consign to Memory is a card I have to worry about. A Braid is a card I have to worry about. Braid, yep, there it is. Yeah, I wonder if I could have sequenced that. I guess they would have had to destroy Grim Monolith instead of Chrome Mox, and I would have gone to 2 for 1. Is there a hero gamble right now that I could gamble for? I don't think so. Because if I get to keep whatever I gamble for, then I lose Relay and vice versa. So gambling for, like, Rite of Flame to get this Relay on the stack doesn't make sense. Okay. A solid sequence. Steam Vents shocked it in. Oh, Defense Grid. You're almost useful, buddy. All right. I have lost this game. Okay. Had the double force open. That's fine. That will happen sometimes. Here goes my deck. Okay, I can ram out a Defense Grid here, and then what does my hand do? Spirit Guide can Rite a Flame. I think having the grid online is worth trusting the deck to draw some red mana over time. Grid, opponent's on 6. If you mold to force, this is him to Turok. All right, Force Bridging Brazen Borrower. Channeler. Okay, that does not help. What do I have access to here? I can relay for some number. If I go Spirit Guide, Rite of Flame, that's 6 mana this turn. Yeah, I think I want a Galvanic Relay. Okay, Spirit Guide, Rite of Flame, Burning Wish. I'll get the Relay. And then Mox Opal's Extra Storm. Just put 4 cards in the bank. Slice my life total down to garbage. There's a pause on Mox Opal. I hope he thinks this is important. I don't know how he could think that, but sometimes you gotta dream. Okay, 4 cards in the bank. They cost actually more life than Necropotence would. Shadow Skull Smashing, Lotus Petal, Grim Monolith, and Grim Monolith. That is a bunch of mess. I could kill DRC and turn on Mox Opal moving forward with that. Okay, pre-combat Brainstorm. We're in combat, so we're out of the main phase, but before attacks, Brainstorming. I wonder if that was a misclick, because if you're going to do this, you should just do it main phase, because what if you hit like Land Ponder or Bauble, like something that gives you Delirium here? Yeah, alright, Bauble. Misclick confirmed. And the Brainstorm, put an artifact in the graveyard. They see Overmaster in my hand. You draw for Bauble. I find Chrome Mox. Not the most thrilling thing. Grim Monolith. How do I want to do this? Well, I'm casting Lotus Petal. Wow, force a negation pit targeting Lotus Petal. That's aggressive. I guess if the read here is trying to keep me off double red, which they actually can't do because I drew Chrome Mox. Right, Grim Monolith, play out the second one. Daze. Alright, I have a mana floating. I'll use it. This feels very desperate from my opponent right now. But, I mean, he doesn't know I drew a red source. Alright, Chrome Mox, exile Overmaster, Shadow Skull Smashing, kill Dragon's Rage Channeler. 1 damage is plenty. Red, red. And I think taking damage off Ancient Tomb to kill this thing is better than tapping my Grim Monolith. I got mana in the pool. Check this out. Tap 1 Grim Monolith, untap the other. Scoreboard. No mana wasted. Okay, now it's who can draw a card that matters first. Ancient Tomb's in play. Maybe I'm not supposed to play that in case I draw a Horn of Parnfell. I could take 2 damage right now to untap my other Monolith. I'm not convinced I want to do that. I guess, yeah, I do. With the Wasteland having this pain-free source of mana, makes sense to have in the book. I'll sit on that for a minute. Because if I rip off a Burning Wish or find an Echo I can cast, that's useful. There's an Echo. I can't play it yet, but I'm close. 1 blue source, 1 Petal or Opal, and I have an uncounterable Echo. Ponder, shuffled the library, and passed the turn. It's a lot of lands over there. Ooh, the Horn. Bah, bah. The Horn is pretty busted, actually, because that gets Echo into the graveyard. I don't want to lose to a flurry of lightning bolts, so I think I am going to tap my Grim Monolith here. Parnfell, Horn of Bounty. It's not an instant or sorcery, so trying to Overmaster here doesn't matter. We're in there. We stay horny. I'm going to discard Echo of Eons to flip 2 cards. Chrome Mox and Grim Monolith. Might as well cast Grim Monolith. We're out here. I wish I could cast this Overmaster, but I'm a mana short. I could just wait a turn and Overmaster the Echo next turn. I think that's better. Alright, I'll cast the Chrome Mox because it's use it or lose it. And this opens up Graveyard Hate, but it turns off Pyroblast. Me playing this way. Core Steel Cutter. Okay, how much damage am I taking? A Lightning Bolt puts me to... Okay. This is 5 damage. I'm actually dead to another Bolt. And I can't tap Ancient Tomb anymore. Good job me tapping the Grim Monolith last turn. Okay, they've got 1 card in hand. Alright, I've drawn the 4th Ancient Tomb. Good thing Parnfell lets me turn that into useful, potentially useful magic cards. Defense Grid. That's better than Overmaster. This is 3, 4, 5. This is exactly enough to Defense Grid plus Echo without dying to Ancient Tomb. Alright, and might as well horn this Overmaster because... Alright, hell yeah. Lion's Eye Diamond, get you in the mix. Load of blue, Mox Opal. We're just storming out here. And I'm going to float a bunch of red off LED because I think I want it in the mix of cards I can draw or flip into. All right, big moment. I have a protected win attempt here, and I have the Harnfell 21 card special. Oh yeah, we're going again. Rite of Flame. Opal, make red, opal, discard Echo of Eons to Horn, flip an Echo the hard way. Echo and Spirit Guide are two of the worst cards you can flip, but it's actually still okay here. LED, LED, discard Relay. There's that Ancient Tomb again. I can't escape that thing. A red, another opal, and I'm going to play the one in my graveyard and leave this one in the bank for later. Blue, 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 red, 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 Echo, frontside Birgi now. There's the Wish. All right, we have the game over. All right, frontside Birgi, just for funsies. We don't need that, but we're out here. Rite of Flame. Should I cast Spirit Guide just to show him who's boss? I think I should. Spirit Guide. And Storm is 15 here. If I don't use these cards, I lose these cards. It's okay. I don't need these cards. All right. Wish. And Wish, you can just select a card. All right. Sack this for black. I don't have to do this, but I'm going to. All right. Wish. I would like to cast Tendrils this turn. Ka-chow! All right. We did it. 6 minutes on my clock to my opponent's 15. Hell yeah. I am creating a fun experience for my opponent. He said he wishes Magic Online did a better job showing what can and can't be played. It's clear on my screen, but yeah, I imagine if he's just looking at my exile zone, it's a little confusing. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw in round 4, and I have a turn 1 send. I am going to keep... My opponent has a Karn the Great Greater avatar. That is concerning. It is a prestige avatar, though, which means they had to win it somehow. Maybe they just like showing off that they won it, and they're not actually a Karn gamer. Hoping for the best. Karn is bad news for my deck. Ancient Tomb. Chrome Mox. What color of Stomping are you? Is it the mirror match? Alright, please be Blood Moon and not Trinisphere. Magus of the Moon. Deal. Sold. You got it, homie. Alright. I am still going to echo my opponent's face off here. Don't need that defense grid anymore. Okay. Ancient Tomb. Oh no, you got me. Lotus Petal. Mox Opal. Lion's Eye Diamond. No gamble, no future. Echo of Eons. Straight to the graveyard. Not that that matters one stinking bit, but it is funny that it happened. I'm going to float a red with Opal just in case I somehow don't get there on an artifact. Echo of Eons. Alright, these Eons continue to echo. Petal. New Opal. LED. I don't need to shatter this Magus' skull. I just don't care about that card. And I will take another spin on the catwalk. That's 2 echoes. There's Burning Wish, Lion's Eye Diamond. Storm is lethal. Sometimes it is that easy. Opal, Opal. Exile Spirit Guide from my hand. Do I need to Overmaster? No, but it's funny, and I have plenty of mana. Alright. You can't counter my Burning Wish. Okay. Float black. And then Burning Wish resolves. I would like Tendrils of Agony. Here they come, all 10 of them. 14 Drills of Agony. Sweet. Turn 1ing a prison deck opponent. Okay, I think I do want the Void Snare in here, and defense grid's not that important. I am going to make that one change, but otherwise, stay chillin'. And my opponent now knows that Chalice of the Void on 0 is a powerful thing against me. They know turn 1 Karn, turn 1 Trinisphere, but I get the play in game 3, which is basically everything. My hand on the draw here is not very good. It does not do anything. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if there's a red pip somewhere I can manipulate somehow, and there simply is not. I'm going to mulligan. If they Blood Moon me, though, I'm in business. Okay, I am going to keep this hand, and bottom probably Defense Grid, though I could see, like, if Mindbreak Trap or Pyroblast are part of their plan, Defense Grid being useful. It also turns on Mug's Opal. I think I'm actually going to bottom Shatterskull Smashing. Or Mountain is worse than Smashing, right? They're otherwise the same. All right. Keep bottom Mountain. And Chalice on 0 is really good against me. Leyline of the Void, kind of frustrating. But short of those things, I have enough mana to even slowly play through a Trinisphere. Okay, they went to 4 and found a Leyline of the Void. Do their other 3 cards do anything? Is the big question. I can Echo, or no, I can't. That's why Lion's Eye Diamond says activate only as an instant. Oh yeah, this was a good 4 cards. Oh, Runehorn Hellkite. Maybe I can just cast that one day. Her Defense Grid in the bank, just in case. If I hit land drops and cast a 5/5 flying Runehorn Hellkite and win the game with that, I'm going to be so happy. Galvanic Relay. I could relay for 3 here, just delete the LEDs. Because I can't get blue mana to bounce Chalice without playing artifacts, which also... Alright. Yeah, I think I am just going to relay for 3. Alright, smash the Shatterskulls. LED countered. LED countered. Put 3 cards in the bank. Hopefully it's just like a bunch of Rite of Flames that cast this Hellkite. Chrome Mox, Relay, and Spirit Guide. Alright, Spirit Guide beats. We got a plan. Opponent passing again. Okay, Spirit Guide beats or Relay again for 3 are my 2 choices. So I would be relaying for 3, looking for mana to cast a 5/5 when I could just have a 2/2. Alright, here we go. Game on. Yeah, I basically just need my opponent to never do literally anything. Oh no, well, we're dead. Any spell in their deck is better than a 2/2. Yep, that one's a lot better than a 2/2. Ooh, another smashing. I'm going to play this, and I think I have to trade with Goblin Shaman. I can't let them be having treasures every turn when they've been mana screwed this whole time. Now it just takes a City of Traders to get this 5/5 into play. A 5/5 might be good enough. A 2/2 is not. They've looted away Magus in the Moon, which means there was at least 1 card in their hand, or 3 cards in their hand that they liked better than a random card. Block. They've got 4/5 mana available. The 1 ring. Yeah. All right, I got a win con. Maybe they'll die to that. All right, City of Traders. 5/5 in the air. Oh my god. Gamble for City of Traders. City of Traders straight into exile. Okay, that was a 50-50 gamble. I either lose the Hellkite, lose the city, or lose one of the other 2 things. I think that made sense though. I stand by it. The 1 ring going nuts over there. Reflection of Kiki Chiki's awake. Ooh, Tursa. This is a haste creature that is also a looter. Another card from Tarkir Dragonstorm showing up in Legacy. Huge impact from that standard legal set. It's a beautiful thing. Disruptor Flute. Okay. What are we naming? Runehorn Hellkite? I would be so impressed if they name Runehorn Hellkite in the blind here. I wish this thing had haste. Is that too much to ask on my 6-mana dragon? It's taken them a very long time to both decide to cast this flute and to name a card. I bet they're on MTG Goldfish right now, just trying to find a list and name something reasonable. I think it's Burning Wish for what it's worth. It's the correct name. Rite of Flame. Okay. Mox Opal. All right. Now I'm dead. That was the turn where I needed to draw something, but Kiki Jiki's online, and they did forget to attack with their haste creature, though. 2 stumped by the Disruptor Flute. Okay, Leyline of the Void is going to be part of the game. Emptying the Warrens is something I can still do. Shattering Spree is interesting. These defense grids just feel really bad, but I guess they're important to turn on Mox Opal, even if they're not doing anything else. Okay, I'm going to trust Tony, and when he says we don't or we don't sideboard. All right, what does this one do? Not enough. Yeah, if one of these 2 opals was a Chrome Mox or a Lotus Petal, I think this hand is fine, but I'm going to mulligan here. Okay, 6 cards. This, okay, so if my opponent does not have Leyline, this is a mulligan. If they do have Leyline, this gives me the ability to grind forward quite a bit and find a win outside of that. So this is 3, 4 mana. If I bottom Chrome Mox, pitch Spirit Guide 2 Chrome Mox, I could relay for 1, 2, 3, and then pass with Gamble in my hand. All right, I am going to try this and hope my opponent goes to 4, chasing Leyline again. They went to 5 to find the Leyline this time. Little better setup than last game, but so am I. Okay, Grim Monolith, Chrome Mox, exile Spirit Guide, and put some stuff in the bank. Okay, draw 3 cards, Gamble, Lotus Petal, Lion's Eye Diamond. All right, Chalice is really bad for me. That's always going to be true. Let's hope they don't have Leyline and Chalice in their hand. Again, one or the other is okay. Chrome Mox. So they'll have 3 real Magic cards left in their hand after they exile something to this. Okay, they won the tank for a little bit, then just passed the turn. That's good for me. Okay. LED. How much do I want to respect Mindbreak Trap here? I could gamble first from exile. I'm gambling for Burning Wish here and trying to make goblins. All right. A 1 out of 3 gamble is the plan. Burning Wish is directly into fucking exile. God damn it. All right. Well. If that's how it's going to be, then that's how it's going to be. I guess. What do I do here? I think I pass and try to set up a gamble that might actually work next turn. Okay. Okay, they went draw go again. Volcanic Island. Yeah, the problem is the longer I wait around, the better they have to figure it out, but also the longer I wait around, the better or the worse Empty the Warrens gets. All right, gamble for Burning Wish again. Burning Wish directly into exile. Fuck my life. All right. All right, passing the turn. Sometimes you lose 2 1 out of 3 flips in a row. Opponent has the 1 ring. Okay, I'm gonna sandbag these artifacts in my hand in case I find a relay or something that benefits me having Storm around. But opponent has now turned the corner through no fault of their own. Simply me running smack dab into my 33%er twice in a row. Magus of the Moon turns our Ancient Tombs into mountains. It's mostly the same to me. Chrome Mox, 1 card left in their hand. Disruptor Flute. You're going to name the 2 Burning Wishes left in my deck? Name Runehorn Hellkite. Named Burning Wish. Okay, yeah, clearly I want that card. Ancient Tomb from hand, pass. So Harnfell, Horn of Bounty is a good draw. Burning Wish still plays. It still makes goblins. I just need enough to make this ring a liability. Broadside Boomy Zooms. Alright, well, ring is no longer a liability, and I'm dead very quickly. Another Chrome Mox. Did not pitch anything. They're going to chuck that at me with broadsides. I would still take that Burning Wish deck. I'm not too proud. And Chalice on 1. Okay. Alright, we lose. Cool. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the play in the final round, positive record on the line. I have 5 trillion colorless mana, but no ability to do anything. I'll mulligan this hand. This one works. Yeah, I'll keep. And I'm going to bottom I think it's Chrome Mox. Chrome Mox to the bottom. All right. I mean, I'm all in, but welcome to the Epic Gamble Casino. This is how it works. Monolith, Opal, LED, LED, red, some colorless, Burning Wish. Yes, I would like to use this ability. I'll get Echo of Eons, blue, blue, blue. I think I should. So this is actually interesting. Should I float red, which will make my rips better, or keep this LED back in case they have a counterspell? I think I'm going to leave it back. Okay. Turns out it didn't matter. LED, Lotus Petal, and all I can do here is relay for 9. I could have had Defense Grid in play if I had cracked my LED, so it did matter a little. All right, Rite of Flame, Mox Opal, Simian Spirit Guide, LED, Chrome Mox, another Echo, Burning Wish. That looks like a win in the bank. Let's see what my opponent has with their 7 cards that they did not pick for themselves. Oh, Windswept Heath. Okay. That's probably a good sign. Savannah, just Mother of Runes die. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. Noble Hierarch. So we appear to be playing against Maverick. I'm going to put a Defense Grid in, just in case. Ancient Tomb from hand, another burst of mana, and then we've got Lion's Eye Diamond, Lotus Petal, Chrome Mox with no exile, Mox Opal, Rite of Flame, different Opal. I could still end up with cards in my hand this turn. I have to count. So 5, 6, 7, Storm, 8, 9. I just need to find one more spell to cast somewhere. I probably have enough mana to play a Defense Grid. Okay. Chrome Mox, no exile. Float red. Mox Opal. Yeah, I have 9 mana sitting here that I can use for these external cards. Yeah, I am fine. All right, Defense Grid again. 8. And then red, red, red. Black, black, black. Burning Wish. For Tendrils. Storm is 10. Bang. Sweet. All right, Maverick. I don't believe I'm sideboarding, and I am going to submit my deck. Void Snare is a thing that maybe they have Collector Oof or Leyline of the Void accessible to them, but I'll try to just go over the top of it and smush it. This is an Echo. I'll keep. Opponent's on 6, and they are passing. Maverick does sometimes have a red splash. If their plan is to Pyroblast my Echo, that's a pretty good plan, I'm not going to lie. Opal, Spirit Guide, Pitch, Burning Wish for Echo. And I'm not playing around it. This is what we got. I guess I could have made like 4 or 5 storms worth of goblins here, but it's whatever. LED, Echo, Moment of Truth. A Mind Ray Trap, a Pyroblast, those are really the only things they could have. All right, we did not get where we wanted to go here. I think it's better for me to just stop than to pitch Spirit Guide to put this Monolith into play. Yeah, I'm an artifact short of casting Frontside Echo here, because I don't have the second blue. All right, I've been halted. All right, my opponent has a fresh 7. A Lush Portico, Bins, Windswept Heath. All right, we spun them directly into Collector Oof. Love that for me. I can eventually kill that thing, though, maybe. Or can I kill it now? Yes. Yeah, I'm good. All right, now we're good. Okay. Do I need to kill it now? Can I wait? Is there any reason to do that? Okay. Ancient Tomb, let me get Defense Grid into play, just in case. And then Spirit Guide, Rite of Flame, deals 2 damage. Rite of Flame, shatter this thing's skull for 2, and pass the turn. Hope you don't have more than one of those. Esper Sentinel, fun! Okay. Wasteland, I got nothing but mana, that's fine. Well, let's do it. Let's do the spin. City of Traders, I'm gonna let them draw the cards because guess what? They're gonna be gone soon. Don't pay. Don't pay. Lion's Eye Diamond. A blue, blue, blue. Float the colorless. Leave blue in the pool. There's other Echoes I could cast. There's one now. Lotus Petal. Lion's Eye Diamond. do I have lethal here before I spin again? So Chromox is 6, Burning Wish is 7, Tendrils is 8. I'm 1 short of lethal. Can I Shatter Skull for just like some medium amount? You can't Burning Wish for Burning Wish anymore, unfortunately. They changed the rules. Is it time for a Mind's Desire? Could we just have some fun here in this last round? How much mana do I actually have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's enough to peer into the abyss. Yeah, I should probably just do that. Okay. Chromox can exile Shatter. Yeah, I haven't gotten to use any of the fun cards in the sideboard yet, but that's about to change. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That does it. Okay. Burning Wish, holding priority. Black in the pool. I would like to gaze into the abyss. Ka-chow. I'll draw 22 cards, please. Do we think the win is in here? I hope so. It would be embarrassing if it's not. All right, I see a Burning Wish and 100 LEDs. We're here. There's probably a super clean way to do this, but I am just going to start putting the necessary things on the stack, because I don't think there's anything in Magic the Gathering that can help my opponent from here. Exile Overmaster? Sure. Right. Okay, Burning Wish. Sack for black. And there it is. Cool. A nice little freebie versus Maverick at the end of the game. A positive record with the Epic Gamble. We split them versus Oops All Spells. That feels pretty good. And we gave various opponents the Oops All Spells experience against anyone registering non-blue. Well, that's not even true. The Maverick deck got cooked, but I did answer a Collector Oof out of them and then cook them. And I did lose to Stompy. And also, just like pointing out, this deck is really good. It's well constructed at when you see 7 cards, you should be able to keep the chain going. However, it's not 100%. And in my 2 losses, the one against Oops All Spells in round 1, I mulliganed to 2 without finding the ability to just echo on turn 1. And then against the Red Stompy player in game 3, I lost 2 3-card gambles in a row. Just hit my 33%er twice. And that game could have gone the other way if I didn't. So there is some RNG to this. Also, the game 1 against Oops All Spells where I was on the play, in game 3, I mulliganed to 2 without finding an echo. And in game 1, I did turn 1 echo and I just wasn't able to convert. So some gaps, some small fail rate that I don't know if the fail rate is as prevalent as I experienced here, or if I'm just extremely unlucky, or also always possible, I just took lines that were riskier than they needed to be, that I didn't see the other line. I know I am not infallible, but this deck was sweet, even in my clumsy hands, put up a positive record and a good fight, even in the 2 losses. Feels good. TonyScapone, congrats on your recent success with this deck. It's fun to see it back in the metagame. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out TonyScapone's YouTube and Twitch channels. Hit that like, comment, and subscribe buttons while you're here, and check out my Patreon to support the channel. I will see you next time.